Hey friends, hello and welcome back. We're going to discuss English non-fictional prose in this video and a few more videos. This video will be limited to the brief history of non-fictional prose and English non-fictional prose during Old and medieval English periods. Let us try to see where are the origins of non-fictional prose found. It is said that the origin of non-fictional prose can be traced back to Greek writers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and also to the Roman masters like Horace, Quintilian, Cicero, and Longinus. Let us try to understand a few things about these Greek masters called Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Socrates was born in ancient Greece. He was born in 470 BC and died in 399 BC. He was the founder of Western philosophy. Plato and Xenophon are his students. He is known for choosing to die instead of taking back his ideas and words. He was a scholar, teacher, and philosopher. His Socratic method laid the foundations of the Western system of logic and philosophy. His most significant contribution is his dialectic method of inquiry. Dialectic method or dialectical method is a discourse between two or more people holding different points of view about a subject but wishing to establish the truth through reasoned argumentation. Socrates applied this method to the examination of basic moral concepts such as good and justice. Another Greek master is Plato. Plato was the disciple of Socrates. He was born in 428 BC and died in 348 BC. It is also said that Plato was born in 427 BC. Some people also say that he was born in 424 or 423 BC and died in 347 BC. Plato, as I told you, was the disciple of Socrates. He had described the method of Socrates in Socratic dialogue. Socratic dialogue is described by Plato. Plato is regarded as the father of idealism in philosophy. His ideas are said to be elitist. He has proposed the idea of ideal state and the philosopher king. These are the two most important ideas of Plato, which is said to be the utopian idea. Some of the famous works of Plato are Theory of Ideas, Dialogues, and Republic. Plato had spoken about several topics like immortality, man, mind, and realism. Another Greek master and the most famous and celebrated philosopher is Aristotle. Everybody knows Aristotle who tries to learn literature or who has learnt literature a little. Aristotle was born in 384 BC and died in 322 BC. As you know that Aristotle was Plato's disciple, he has contributed to diverse fields like logic, metaphysics, mathematics, physics, biology, botany, ethics, politics, agriculture, and drama. His famous works are Nicomachean Ethics, Politics, Metaphysics, Poetics, and Prior Analytics. Poetics is his most celebrated work because it speaks about literature and types of literature. It also speaks about drama, tragedy, and comedy, and three unities by means of which even today the dramas and poetries and novels are judged. That tells the importance of Aristotle in literature. Aristotle's philosophical methods were empirical and critical. They were based on analysis and observation. Western systems of knowledge are said to be only the footnotes to the original ideas of Aristotle. That much importance is given to Aristotle and that much height Aristotle had in his ideas. Apart from Greek masters like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, the origins of English non-fictional prose and non-fictional prose in general can also be traced back to a few Roman masters like Horace, Quintilian, Cicero, and Longinus. These were also the models for English non-fictional prose writers. This is all about introduction to the origin of non-fictional prose. However, we're going to talk about English non-fictional prose. So let's begin with English non-fictional prose during Old and Medieval English periods. See, if you look at the history of English language, you will find that history of English language begins in 5th century. That means it is not a very ancient language. It begins only in 5th century, much after Greek and Latin languages. The Anglo-Saxon Germanic tribes went to British Isle in 5th century. Now these people were tribal peoples and they were illiterate. They resided there in the British Isle. During the 7th century, Pope of Rome sent missionaries to teach them to read and write. Because it was the religion, it was the Pope who was the powerful authority at that time. The most ancient known English non-fictional prose, if you want to know about it, the most ancient known English non-fictional prose, we are talking about non-fictional prose, not about poetry. Okay, most ancient known English non-fictional prose is Ecclesiastical History of English People. What is the title? Ecclesiastical History of English People. This text was written by Adam Bede. Adam Bede lived between 1673 and 735. The book Ecclesiastical History of English People contains laws, proclamations, religious prayers, and a few notes on politics. There is another work that can be called non-fictional prose. The work is known as the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. Title is The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. King Alfred, who lived between 1871 to 1899, is credited for this work. Ælfric is another writer of Old English period. He is credited for introducing rhetoric in English prose. He is also known for translating Bible into English for the first time. Remember, Ælfric is known for translating Bible into English for the first time. In 1066, that is 1066, Duke of Normandy became the ruler of England. He is famously known as William the Conqueror. In the history, he is known as William the Conqueror. During his reign, Latin became the primary language and French became the second language. English remained the language of low classes. Therefore, there was no growth of English language, and literature in the medieval periods was not produced in English. Medieval period of English literature is the period between 11th century and 14th century. These centuries are also known as dark ages in English literature. Writings of English prose renewed in 15th century only. You don't find anything written during 11th and 14th century. The writing began in 15th century. In 1476, William Caxton, a famous person, William Caxton started a printing press. The publication of texts in England was channelized because of this printing press. William Caxton's printing press is also known as Caxton Printing Press. William Caxton printed Thomas Malory's most famous and celebrated text, Morte d'Arthur. Morte d'Arthur is a story of the legendary English king Arthur and his 12 knights. This work remained a permanent source of inspiration for all the generations to come of England as well as other people. So this was all about English non-fictional prose during Old and Medieval English periods. Let's have a recap of all the things that we have seen. We have talked about three great Greek masters. The first was Socrates, who was also teacher to Plato. He is also said to be the founder of Western philosophy. Then we have talked about Plato, who has described Socrates' method as Socratic dialogues, and he has also proposed the ideas of ideal state and philosopher king. We've also talked about Aristotle, who was Plato's disciple. His books like Nicomachean Ethics, Politics, Metaphysics, Poetics, and Prior Analytics. Then we have just had the names of some Roman masters like Horace, Quintilian, Cicero, and Longinus. And then Finally, we have started discussing about English non-fictional prose during Old English period, because there was nothing much in the medieval English period. In the Old English period, we began with Ecclesiastical History of English People. It was written by Adam Bede. Then we have seen the Anglo-Saxon Chronicles written during the reign of King Alfred. Then we have seen Aelfric as the prominent writer of Old English period, who is known for translating Bible into English for the first time. Then we have had an idea about the Duke of Normandy, who is also known as William the Conqueror. During his reign, Latin became the primary language and French the second. Therefore, no much writings were there in English because it was limited to the common people only. In the 15th century, that is in 1476, William Caxton started a printing press called Caxton Printing Press, and it started publishing the books. So, William Caxton is said to have published Thomas Malory's the famous book Morte d' Author. That's all for today. I think this was a useful video for you and informative too. If you have liked it, please hit the like button. Share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe if you are new to this channel. Thank you very much for watching.